Thank you. Right, just give me a minute while I collect my thoughts. Innovation is a mindset, not a concept. Just a second. Sorry.
Class.
So did you guys feel that? You could tell I was afraid, couldn't you? And you could feel the fear and that uncomfortableness. And you just felt for me. And that fear doesn't just sit with one person. It spreads throughout the entire room. And I think that I've just put myself in a situation where I've lived out my worst fear, where you're standing in front of everyone and actually you're on the brink of choking and not being able to get your words out. Now, I wanted to deliberately start with evoking that in this room. And of course, because you're so brilliant, you wanted to encourage me to get through this talk. But essentially, fear is the enemy of an innovation mindset. And I wanted to kind of bring that to this room. And because we have that sort of saying of feel the fear and do it anyways, we probably think, oh, it's pretty easy to move past it. It's not me overcoming my fear of spiders. A lot of times it's overcoming a fear of looking maybe stupid in your professional career. The stakes are higher because your reputation's on the line. Your ego is in the room. Your career and your potential role might be on the line. So all of those things are at play when we've got fear holding us back. And I spent the majority of my career in travel technology. So I love this industry and I advocate for it, especially when outsiders tell us that we're too slow to adopt technology. I'm the first person to get on that and say, actually, these are the reasons why, our industry is super complex. You don't understand. We're global. There's loads of reasons why we can't do and move as fast as you can. But of course, the people outside of our industry, they just see it as excuses. That's all they hear. It's actually my job as a solutions engineer to explain all the reasons why things can't be implemented, issues with this, that, and the other. But ultimately, other industries have similar challenges and they manage to overcome them. So what's holding us back? I've come to a simple belief. I don't think it's the complexity holding us back. I think it's fear. I think we're afraid of being the first people to put our hands up in a room. Hands up if you've ever hesitated to bring a bold idea to a senior stakeholder or to a client meeting. And you've just decided, you know what, I'll wait. Maybe I'll say it next time. And you never do. So what I want to bring for today in this room is to take that hesitation and turn it into action. Because we don't lack the ability to innovate in this industry. Of course we don't. Conceptually, we've got it down. We know what innovation looks like. And actually, it's more of the mindset that's holding us back. But then I see a beacon of hope and light in this room. It's in these spaces where we feel safe to innovate, in ladders or in a breakout section at a conference where you're being asked to innovate. But then what happens when we get to our day jobs? Does that lack a little bit? Are we able to bring that innovation that we've got in this room to the day to day? I'm not sure. And that hesitation that happens, people slide in. We see it all the time. We've got fintech bros and ex-road warriors who look into the travel industry and go, I see an opportunity. I'm going to launch a new business. I'm going to put a new piece of technology out there. And they innovate on our behalf. And then what happens? They come into our industry and we kind of judge them initially. We're like, they don't understand. They don't know how complicated it is. Because of course we only celebrate them once they're successful. But initially we think, it's a bit silly. I mean, let's think of a couple of examples. Airbnb. Somebody had to stand up in a room and say, instead of hotels, why don't we just stay at random people's houses? Who thought that was a good idea at the time? With Uber, let's build a platform where instead of all the taxis that are on the road, we'll just get in some rando's car. At the time, sounds silly, but now it's essential to our everyday lives. It's not until we got past that, started with an idea, somebody raising their hand saying something crazy. Somebody else decided to make it a conversation. Another person decided to take action, and then we have a movement. Why can't we be that movement in this room, starting here? Have you ever seen that video, maybe TikTok, Instagram, of that guy who starts dancing in a field on his own? Loads of people having picnics, and he just decides to get up. There's no music. He's just dancing. For a while, he's the only one. And then eventually, other people get up. The whole field has turned into a festival because one person decided to get up and dance. So if there's one thing I want to leave you with, it's just to have that bravery, to be the first person to say something a little crazy, to dance when there's no music and nobody else is dancing, because fear spreads. At the beginning of this talk, the whole room's feeling a bit awkward, a little worried. What's going to happen? But what also spreads is that innovation mindset, because innovation is a mindset. It's not a concept. So thank you.
Never seen me buy it. I